The one thing that remains that I promised here is we said we would add the MCP component to this. So all I have to do that is I say, hey, I've got my MCP component here. I'm going to add it onto the screen. There's essentially no configuration here. There is actually a port number because it's using HTTP, but the default works for me here. And so now all the various information, all the values within this application are now available through MCP and are available to my chatbot. And I can test that directly. I can test all that directly within the application. So not doing anything dangerous, we'll go from sim mode to live mode. And now we should start to see some of these lines clean up here. So we're actually saving data to the database. And so here you see I've started some interaction with the chatbot. Let's have it retry that query and see what the current lot ID is. Tends to be a little chatty. It is a chatbot. And there we get the current value, and we get when it last changed as well. I mean, really now, the data is all available to the chatbot. So really, it's just a matter of how good is your imagination in creating prompts. And I feel these are kind of boss level prompts where I can ask for simple stuff, where I can get the historical data that I have, and I can just get that displayed in a quick table on the display. It'll also show it in HTML, and you can do anything you like with it. It is just that's just limited. You know, the whole vibe coding thing is just limited by your imagination. It'll create HTML pages for you. I haven't tried it, but supposedly the Claude desktop will also create things like Excel files for you. And of course, I can set values. So I can change those values. And so I really have full control of the screen from here, whether that's necessarily a good idea. And obviously, we do have the ability to control whether you can write those values or not, but we can export them as read-only. Here I've just exported everything as a read-write. And so now we see that the lot ID has changed from lot 77 to new lot 2. And if we go back up here and we ask for the data again, we'll see data for the new lot 2 instead of for lot 77. What's nice about the chatbot, it often gives you information you didn't ask for, so that you get the ranges of all this information. But I could do other things too. I can ask it to check if the range is within a certain range and then make some change on the display. So that's the core of this. This now is you have full integration. You have full access to every component that's on the screen. I'm referencing these obviously by name so that I have these components that are on the screen that I can reference directly. The process data, as you recall, was the one we hooked up to our table on the historical screen. And so I'm just seeing that same thing in the chatbot, but I could say, hey, give me the values where it's greater than this, and make this analysis on this table, look at another value. And one important thing is it's actually smart enough to get the quality and the timestamp data. Which just kind of completes the MCP integration. I feel that data is never complete if you just have a value. You actually need to know more about it. You actually need to know that when it was updated, you need to know whether it's good quality data. And this is strictly when it was updated. This is not the time that this data was requested. This is the time this data was actually updated, and it tells us that it has good quality because that was provided as part of the MCP server. Thanks for listening.